What's up, guys? It's Jughead here. Welcome back to our Let's Watch Hunter x Hunter series. Today we're going to be watching episode 72, Chase and Chance. Tsezguerra is going to try to bide Gon and Killua some time to train and recover for their inevitable confrontation with Genthru and his lackeys. Killua's job is healing and coming up with the plan, using that brain of his. Gon's job is purely training up, using those fists of his. Hisoka has left us. Got that call. Seems the troop has triangulated on Abengane's position. So without any further ado, tune in to my full uncut reaction and stay for my in-depth analysis afterwards. So, Hunter x Hunter, episode 72, Chase and Chance in 3, 2, 1, let's watch. Okay, we're jumping right into the Phantom Troupe. The boys are going to come later. It's the Phantom Troupe right now. They have found Abengane. He is no longer a troop member, but they are working together. They're tracking him that way? Any price, so they're not going to kidnap him. They'll pay any price he wants, but make sure you lock in the deal. That's the only reason why he's doing this. I like the little on the string. Chase, and there he is in the disguise because of that worm wrapped around him. Who are we talking about? Yeah, how are your fingers doing? You have some healing to do too. Relax, relax. We have a job to do. What the fuck is Kalluto doing here? Kalluto! I'm sorry, I'm so close to the mic. Is Kalluto joining the Phantom Troupe? Is Kalluto Hisoka's replacement? Or Paku's wait. Or Uvo's We have a number of seats to fill. Kalluto. When's the last time we saw Kalluto? When the 10 Dons were killed, right? Didn't he join Illumi and he was in the shadows too? Kind of like a shadow? Again, called him in the shadows. What does that mean for Kurapika? And what does that mean for Kurapika and Killua's relation? Would Killua care? Killua doesn't love Kalluto. Oh my god. And remember when Killua said that Silva told his kids, Maluki, Killua, Illumi, Kalluto, don't mess with the Phantom Troupe. And now one of them has joined. If Kalluto joins, would that mean Illumi would join? And we have 2 Zoldicks in the Phantom Troupe? What the fuck does that... And they're working together because you have family in the troop? You're not... I'm sorry. We're going to continue. What the fuck does that mean in regards to Kurapika now? And then how does that affect Killua? Oh my... This discussion afterwards, I'm spending like 15 minutes on just... I need to calm down. And it was Kalluto... So that's Hisoka. Yeah, Hisoka. Yeah, what is Kalluto's power that they were able to find him? Great. Is it because you're also a child? Dude. Ooh, interesting question for Machi. That's a lie. Machi joined this game to run after Hisoka. They have an interesting dynamic. I would pursue you to the ends of the earth to kill you. He likes that. Machi is someone that Hisoka would want to fight. And how this is going to go. The two lackeys, the two cronies. So we're shooting for 3 weeks of biding time for them. Lucky Alexandrite and Breath of the Archangel. They're gonna force them to use cards to transform. Oh, let me rewind quick. Let me view this real quick. Cards needed. Patch of Shore and Lucky Alexandrite, right? What is that? Yeah. And they need Breath of Archangel, Lucky Alexandrite, and whatever that blue stone is. And everybody needs the 000. You get that after you complete the set. This is a full-on fucking... Oh, Levy. They're gonna steal cards and run. So it's gonna be... It's a hit and run strategy. You know, evade as long as you can, snatch, and, you know, Tom and Jerry cat and mouse game. Buy cards, prevent them from having cards. Then they'll have to forget about them and probably go after other players to take their cards. Or if these people start telling other players about how to defeat Genthru, if they have the information, then he has to start killing a whole bunch of people. So it's already been a few days. He's training. Killua is watching, since he can't do anything, and he's trying to think. He looks upset that he can't train as well. Building up that stamina. If she fights someone, one of the Genthru people, because there's 3, let me pause. There's 3 bombers, Genthru and his 2 lackeys. We have 3 here, so each one is going to take one on, logically. Biscuit, one of them, Killua the other, Gon, the main honcho, Genthru. I want to see, in that, her use and show us what her abilities actually are. Gon is not going to be able to do that. And I don't want him to be able to do it. I want him to fail. Because, let me pause again. Gon is a 1 in 10 million Nen user. We saw his power the last 2 episodes. The sheer amount of aura residing inside him. The potential. But here today, focusing on Emission, we can see innate ability still has its limits. You can still hit a brick wall. Brute force, pure ability won't break through that wall. You gotta dismantle it brick by brick. Set them aside and walk right through where the wall used to be. And that's proper discipline, understanding, training. We just saw Gon, the last 2 episodes, appear as almost like a potential Nen god. Something almost superhuman. So today, Gon's struggle humanizes him again. Brought back down to earth. Yeah, we're not following the proper sequence of training. Create some distance, push him back. Then you can use it as a weapon. Yes. Open up the playbook. Give you more options. Yes, 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 yes. What the hell? Magical esthetician Cookie? Her name's Cookie. Burn off excess fan guide both your body and your soul. Is that a Nen beast? When her aura Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey. What a place to pause on. I did not mean to do that. Not gonna. When her aura, transformed into special lotion, is applied to the skin. Her aura? Her aura, not your own aura? So pretty much just a complete restoration of your body. Which would actually really make sense for a person like Biscuit, who is constantly training, you know, pretty much having your own physical therapist with you at all times to recover your body, heal you. Couldn't that help Killua right now with his hands? But this ability has to be using like 3 or 4 different Nen types. Is this masseuse considered a Nen beast? So is she conjured? Conjuring would mean... So she... It's not totally worthless at all, but let me get back to what I was saying. Conjuring would mean this is a... God, this still confuses me. Conjuring would mean this is a real, actual girl. So it's not conjuring, right? Or am I even getting that wrong? But like, wait. Castro's body double was conjured. But that wasn't like a conscious, living, sentient being. That was like a puppet, essentially. She said her aura. And is that girl like a sentient, like separate consciousness aware person? If this was purely Nen aura, that would make her a combination of then, if not conjuration, then transmutation and manipulation. Right? As, only Nen users would be able to see her. Well, that's one thing, but I don't even think it's ever been said before what Biscuit is, but I assume the way she constantly, and the way the show constantly shows these two together, and the way she constantly compares her and Killua together, how she lies and how she deceives, especially by her physical appearance, I would assume that's one of her other abilities, that she is a transmuter. Transmutation, easy for her. Manipulation is directly opposite on the chart, but she's over 50 years old. We know she's mastered the Nen types. And so I'm confused. Now that we're getting into the territory of fucking Nen users creating Nen beast animals, now people, I'm confused. I need some help here. If anyone wants to be my teacher in the comments. That lotion is definitely transmutation, transmuting aura into this lotion that can heal. But I don't understand the rest of this. That I'll have to talk about more in the discussion. These two. Killua will take one, Biscuit will take another when the confrontation happens. Oh. I just said that. Hit and run strategy. Hit and run tactics. Yes, I want to see the other people of Tsezguerra's team's powers. If they have a radar or a tracking beacon. Use some force. They're attacking now. Oh, but not force on them. Like I said, you're going to have to start going after their cards. They need cards to not waste. Extras. Duplicates of the ones they already have so they can go fight Tsezguerra's team. Oh my god. He touched him. Touched him. Is that their team? The other team? Uh-oh. Why they... I don't really understand why they're killing... I assume that name was Tsezguerra or Garenu or whoever. I don't really understand why you would instantly kill because they've interacted before. Oh, they're dwindling down the population. Right? It doesn't matter, like, if they kill everybody who's met Tsezguerra, eventually they'll kill Garenu, right? That's what they're trying to do? 3 birds with 1 stone. Who's the tracker here? This is a pretty tame episode so far. But 2 crazy things that we'll be talking about. Kalluto. Bro. And then more nerdy trying to talk about Biscuit's ability that we just saw. Have you gotten a little bit higher? Nope, still like 2 inches off the ground. Now, are we going to use the masseuse on Gon now that he's fucking exhausted? So to not waste any time, just continuously train. No time to recover and build back up. Let's use the masseuse to get you right back into the action. "10 days, no progress." Now he is starting at level 5, but yeah. I forgot they still need fucking 30 cards. Oh yeah, true. Go and take the damn cards. What the hell? She make that? And now it's a game of tag. Cat and mouse. Keeping them on their tails. They're on the move to you. Now what? So you're gonna do this 40 fucking times. Why do you have to say it so loud? Oh, it doesn't matter, because it'll be Accompany. So whoever has the more cards, at some point you're not going to be able to go anymore. True. It has to be completely natural to him. A complete internal understanding of your own body and mind. Uninfluenced by others. Because no one experience is the same. I hope Garenu doesn't die. I like Garenu. And you can't count on those being the two correct ones, because we saw in the original meetup between these two that the two lackeys were fake and that they were ambushing them from behind with their actual selves. So you can't rely on you actually seeing the correct ones. What's your plan? Damn, telling Gon to give up? Would Gon listen to anybody else other than Killua saying those two words to him? Wait, was that him being told? Oh. Wait. Now they've ran out of a company. Now time for return. I'd be getting those leave cards. Bye bye. Looks like you two are dead. So we're leaving the game. Don't get Patera killed. Yeah, what 3 cards is Patera paying for everybody to complete the game and take the 3 cards out? Patera would be safe though, because if he's dead, none of them get paid. Yeah, where's he at? This place is a fucking ghost town now. What's going on? Damn, he canceled? Damn, there's no purpose to this now. All that effort for nothing. What happened to him? What happened to him? Oh, he's crying? What existential crisis is he going through? Oh, shit. Okay. A pretty tame episode today so far. Last video, episode 71, was the longest discussion in a great while. Today's discussion for episode 72 is gonna be, I suspect, a considerably shorter one. Maybe this was a much tamer episode, but there are obviously 2 primary discussion points we can and will be spending a good deal of time analyzing, and for me at least, trying to wrap my head around and understand better. You know, the first topic we're jumping straight into, the character introduction I left my seat and had to step away from. Kalluto. Holy shit. Kalluto joins the Phantom Troupe. The first time we saw Kalluto, he was hiding in a bush, spying on Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio, and he had a not so happy look on his face. And then, standing beside Kikyo, the mother, again, a judging gaze on his face. Kalluto might be Kikyo's favorite, I don't know, just judging from the way he's on his mother's hip, like that. Kikyo obviously has to hate Gon, Kurapika, Leorio, you know, the friends of Killua, when you're not allowed to have friends, who took him away from her. Kalluto, by extension, must not like them either. Why did he join the Phantom Troupe? He's just a child. Could he join with Silva's permission? Did the family make him join or allow him to join? Was it for personal reasons or for familial strategy? Does Kalluto want to find Killua, or was he tasked with finding Killua? Does he want to kill Gon or Kurapika and Leorio, for taking his brother away? I'm shocked Kalluto joined, when I would have surely presumed if any Zoldyck was going to become a spider, it would be Illumi, for sure. And so, would a Zoldyck joining the Phantom Troupe be purely a strategic positioning so that there is an alliance formed between these two infamous, iconic, deadly groups? So there's no infighting, the Zoldicks take no contracts or do anything against the troupe, and the troupe doesn't do anything against the Zoldyck family. And I brought up the first time that we saw Kalluto. The last time we saw Kalluto was when he tagged along and shadowed Illumi, who was hired by Chrollo to kill the 10 Dons. The younger sibling training as an assassin, obviously shadowing the older sibling on certain missions to learn. And also, if we can see from this episode, it came down to Kalluto's Nen ability to find Abengane. Was it Kalluto's ability that they found the 10 Dons location, or was that already known? Also, if Kalluto is the younger sibling, how was Killua the only to not know anything about Nen? Do y'all just not speak to each other at all? I can understand him not being trained or not being considered ready to develop Nen, but he didn't even know about it. Did he never shadow or witness his other family members on missions? And why would the younger sibling, Kalluto, learn Nen before Killua, and not just learn it, but mastered it, when Killua is considered the prodigy in the family? Is it because they were afraid of Killua becoming too powerful too early in his childhood development? And also, whether Kalluto's motives are personal or crafted by family, what would Killua's reaction be to finding out Kalluto is now a spider? And what about Kurapika? Would Killua prevent Kurapika from killing Kalluto if that scenario was to occur? I don't think so. We know the complicated dynamics within the Zoldyck family. We know Killua doesn't love his family. I mean, he ran away, wants to completely separate from them, doesn't want to be an assassin. He did want to surpass them, and his old dream goal that he shared to Gon was to pretty much enslave them. So we know Killua doesn't love his family, but not his entire family. Remember, we've seen every member of his family already. If you recall, all the way back to episode 23, we are shown an image of the Zoldyck family in silhouette form. Look at Killua. What's he doing? Killua is not an affectionate person. Physically, emotionally, verbally, it's all very hard for him. And he hates his family. Yet, look at the picture. He is holding hands with someone who I at least don't know yet, aside from what I can deduce logically with my eyes. From the silhouette, looks like they could be his younger sister. Looks feminine, smaller, younger, holding hands together in a protective, older brother type of way. The Zoldyck siblings are also all boys, so it would make sense, and also writing-wise just be heartwarming and cute for a character like Killua, that the only one he loves would be the sister, the younger sister who we haven't seen amongst all the boys, the one person we've seen him be affectionate with because we can see him holding hands. Killua respects his father Silva and his grandfather Zeno, but respect isn't love. I do think he respects them. Zeno calls Killua the best, the prodigy, so Zeno thought highly of Killua. Silva had faith in his son Killua to see the family and legacy as something he wants, and he was putting that choice in Killua's hands. Faith that he will come back, come home, even by letting him go, and to let him figure that out on his own. And that scene of them talking together, Killua looking up at his father with his big blue eyes, his father's hand on his head, was probably the one time, if not rarest time, he actually conveyed like a childlike innocence because he trusted and listened and appreciated his father. So those two he, at the very least, respects. Killua likes Canary and Goto, if they're even around still, but those aren't his family. But Killua, for sure, hates his mother, Kikyo, can't fucking stand her ass, and doesn't care whatsoever about Maluki or Illumi, and I have to bet Kalluto too. If any one of his brothers or mother died, I don't think Killua would frankly give a shit. And so maybe Kalluto is jealous of the lack of relationship with Killua and jealous of the relationship Gon does have with Killua. Maybe Kalluto is yearning for some kind of relationship with his closest older brother, and he's never had that. Maybe Kalluto simultaneously at the same time is totally loyal to the family and what they stand for, but at the same time wants his brother to care about him and wants his brother to also be loyal to the family. He doesn't want to have a exiled, what would you call that? Estranged brother. He saw this kid Gon storm onto their property, steal his brother away, and who he hasn't seen since. And maybe in that time has developed into a promising assassin, mastered nen. Maybe during this time he's really risen up, but his brother wasn't around to witness it. Maybe he wants to be seen by his brother, acknowledged, noticed, recognized, anything. Maybe he wants to kill Gon, or if not actually kill him, by going after Gon, it would require Killua to acknowledge him and face him, and for them to interact, and for him to be recognized. Or maybe he's just following family orders. Maybe his task is simply to spy on Killua, bring him back. I don't know. Or he's just being planted as a spider to seal an alliance. I don't know. What does this mean for Kurapika now? Kalluto doesn't really have any reason to want Kurapika personally dead, aside from obviously having to be loyal to the troop, who are as a group, as a singular unit, trying to exact revenge for the deaths of Uvo and Paku, who Kalluto doesn't even know. But personally, there's no reason for Kalluto to want Kurapika dead. He would defend himself against Kurapika, same way Kurapika might not want to kill Kalluto, but would kill in self-defense if provoked, perhaps. Though, I gotta say, I don't even think Kurapika would be capable of killing a child, even if they are a spider. I think he would just take their nen away too with his chains. Kurapika is more intent on eliminating the spiders directly involved and responsible for the extinction of his clan. So he both wouldn't be capable of killing a child. He wouldn't even care to kill a rookie, new, fresh troop member who he has no personal vendetta or emotional attachment to. And that's before even Kurapika discovers Kalluto is the sibling of his friend Killua, if he ever does. But maybe that's what the Zoldicks want, or what Kalluto wants. Maybe it's a test to see whose side Killua would choose, to see if Killua would choose family over his friends, if the two sides were pitted up against each other. As you can see, it's like the revelation that Kalluto is now a member of the Phantom Troupe has instantly flooded so many questions and ideas and theories into my head. That's why, like, my jaw dropped and I stepped away, because it just instantly, like, overwhelming amount of information and possibilities and questions. Just, oh my God. Is it a quest for power? A quest for recognition? I can equally see both options being true. Does it stem from the complex familial relationship with the family between Kalluto and his older brother Killua? Does Kalluto desire a connection with Killua out of jealousy or emotional yearning? Because Killua obviously has a close relationship with the other mystery sibling, as we've seen. Or is Kalluto simply following orders from the family and the mission to bring his brother back? But then, like, would that one mission really warrant joining the troop for? Or is joining the troop a personal desire to impress Killua, or simply get his attention? Any attention from his older brother is good attention. The Zoldicks have plenty of money, connections, influence, power, a large network. So what does the troop have that Kalluto wants or thinks they could give him that his own last name, Zoldyck, and family couldn't give him? That's my question. Is Kalluto looking to use the troop for his own means? Does he want to overthrow Chrollo? Does he want trust or favor? Is he also infiltrating? Or does Kalluto also wish to emulate Killua's independence by forging his own path too? And why does that path go to the Phantom Troupe? Would the family allow that? And not just generally allow it, but allow this independence to include joining the troop? There's one thing about, like, oh yeah, well, I let your brother do it, so I'll let you do it too. I know you'll come back. Figure out, have your adventure on your own and you'll come back. But there's that, and then there's, along the way, I'm going to join the Phantom Troupe. Hope that's cool. The Zoldyck family's relationship and history with the troop are one of pragmatic neutrality. While they have indeed been contracted to eliminate troop members in the past, Silva killed one before, and we witnessed him and Zeno attempt to kill Chrollo. These actions are and have always been strictly business, devoid of any personal vendetta or attachment. In their line of work, a job is a job, a contract is a contract. We are professional and we are detached. And so I guess it would be this kind of professional detachment where the family would neither oppose or endorse their child's affiliation with the troop, if they do believe in individual agency. Kurapika's moral compass is a sensitive and nuanced one. Sure, he's in direct opposition of the spiders as a group, but he's only targeting those directly involved in the genocide of his people. I don't think he'd pursue Kalluto at all, only if he was provoked and if he was attacked first. And even if there was a confrontation between the two of them, I think Kalluto would be surprised to see his own brother fail to intervene on his behalf. I don't know the next time Gon would even have a reason to interact with the troop again, let alone come in contact with them. So I don't really see Gon being in any danger right now, but I'm unsure. And then where's Illumi at? What's he doing if not joining the troop? And Kalluto did instead. Now does he have 2 younger brothers he has to go watch? Like, aren't the spiders going to split up after this anyways? They're only all still together right now because they need to help Chrollo lift the curse off of them. But after that, wouldn't they all just go their separate ways again until called to meet, like was the case for Yorknu? Like, they all hadn't been together for like 3-4 years or something, right? One of them said that. I forget how many years it was. So it's common for them to, all do their own thing unless called up by Chrollo to meet. Kalluto join the troop, but they aren't even going to be together after this Abengane exorcism thing is all sorted out. Unless their new mission after Chrollo returns will be going full steam ahead against Kurapika for killing 2 founding members, and then that's why they're going to stay together, then Kalluto, again, is wrapped up in drama that doesn't even have shit to do with him. That seems stupid. We shall see. Let's move on to Biscuit, though. Finally, we see one of her abilities. Magical Esthetician. An ability that kind of perfectly reflects her personality, her lifestyle, her priorities, and of course her extensive mastery over multiple Nen types because of how complex this ability really is, what you have to use to accomplish it. Biscuit can summon Cookie, her masseuse, who utilizes various different massage techniques combined with Nen transmuted lotion to alleviate everything from fatigue, chronic pain, ailments, to just restoring vitality completely. Recover from battle or from training so you can get right back into the workout. Aid in relieving stress and inflammation, restore your depleted aura, even rejuvenate yourself cosmetically. Biscuit is a transmuter. So, the transmuted lotion is the easiest technique. I believe she conjures Cookie, which is a difficult thing to do, but conjuration is at least adjacent to transmutation. And once she's conjured, I have to assume she uses manipulation to have Cookie carry out whatever massages or services she wishes to receive. And that is the most impressive one because manipulation is the hardest for a transmuter to learn. But Biscuit has pretty much mastered the entire Nen chart outside of specialization, of course, over the multiple decades she's been a hunter. Magical Esthetician is not directly offensive or defensive at all, but it does play a strategic role in her overall combat readiness should the moment come where she needs to kick some ass or exert herself. She can facilitate lightning quick rapid recovery so she can maintain her peak physical condition, whether it's training or fighting. It does align with her philosophy of continuous self-improvement and the role of mentor she has become to others. Biscuit, she's strong as hell. And this is cute little girl version of Biscuit. Porcelain doll Barbie Biscuit. She's over 50 years old. This is not her true form. So in her state, whatever this is, in her current state, I guess I'll just call it because I don't even know what else to call it. It either hyper condenses her Nen, like same amount of Nen, but just pressurized in this tiny little girl-sized person. But more likely, it restricts her Nen, or her aura, or her strength, like a condition, or, yeah, it would be a condition, or a vow. Make me this cute Barbie porcelain doll that I can use to deceive and use as a disguise so people underestimate me. But in doing so, I'm not as strong as whatever my true self is. I don't even think we're witnessing her actual true strength. That's what I'm hoping for with this confrontation against the bombers. Let me see it. Biscuit, I feel like has to be up there with Razor. Stronger and faster than Hisoka for sure. Definitely has more mastered than him. Definitely stronger than I'd say pretty much the entire Phantom Troupe, outside Chrollo himself, of course. Even in these last couple episodes, Biscuit showed absolutely zero fear facing Razor. Never a moment of hesitation or reluctance. When the ball came roaring towards her, it was one casual step backwards to dodge. She didn't fear for her life for a millisecond or have like these inner monologues. She knew she could dodge it. Her face never changed. She only got out, not knocked out, because her dress counted as an extension of herself. Damn. But again, one quick, casual step backwards to dodge. She knew exactly what to do. She also threw the ball hard enough to knock one of the devils out. And I don't even take her as a sports, thrower, kicker, athletic sports person like that. And she knocked out one of the devils like that. The Phantom Troupe, they stopped in their tracks when Razor stood in front of them. And that wasn't even in a gymnasium or in a tightly restricted game. They were out in the open. They could have done anything when Razor stood in front of them. They didn't feel like fighting him as a group. They backed off. Killua, he nearly died from Razor's throw and was almost traumatized and shocked by the fact he could have easily been decapitated had the ball gone another direction. Hisoka had to contort himself in a blink of an eye to avoid Razor's throw, barely dodging. Biscuit hasn't had to employ anything but her most fundamental utilization of Nen aura to survive so far on the island. Biscuit is definitely strong as hell. She doesn't even have a combat Hatsu. That's what I'm trying to get at. She doesn't even have a combat Hatsu. That's how strong she is. The best Nen users don't need combative Hatsu or destructive, offensive Nen Hatsu, whatever you want to call it. So, was she so confident in her mastery over Nen and her martial arts and her fundamental abilities that she never felt the need to create Hatsu meant for offense or defense? Anything complicated. And like I say all the time in these discussions, what you need in the world of Hunter x Hunter and what essentially always leads to victory in the world of Hunter x Hunter is wit and intelligence and strategy and adaptability and comprehension and understanding, blah, 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 blah. All of that. All mental, emotional traits. They win out over physical always in this world. Biscuit's power lies not in a singular, amazing offensive Hatsu, but in her total comprehensive mastery of Nen and strategic intellect. Also, if Biscuit is over 50 years old and resides in a young body and takes insult to being called, being called old, and went out of her way to dedicate her Hatsu to helping her prevent aging and all the physical things that come along with aging, from cosmetic, aesthetic things down to medical things like arthritis and tendonitis and stuff, whatever the masseuse can do, then she must be someone who resents or fears aging and someone who cares about appearance. So beyond its practical applications, magical esthetician reflects her personality perfectly. Her concerns over her looks and of her age. I know one of her abilities has to do with something about her being a young Barbie doll version of herself. So her abilities allow her to maintain this youthful facade and her focus on medical and aesthetic treatment suggests a desire to preserve her youth and her vitality and conceal her true power. Again, I need to see her reveal herself and actually do something just one time. I'm gonna be mad if we never get anything from her, or if we get a tease and that's it. A character we spent so many episodes with, a character we really like, I really like, and I've heard a bunch of people like, and then we just don't see her utilized more. Like Nobunaga, and half the Phantom Troupe, like Leorio, like Melody, like Jing probably, if we ever even find this bastard, like Netero, whoever else. Please hook me up, inject some Biscuit into my veins. That's what's annoyingly unfortunate. I am gonna likely see her fight. It's a 3v3. It's like setting it up precisely and perfectly for Gon to handle Genthru while Killua and Biscuit each take one of the loser lackeys. So she'll kick some ass. She's gonna kick that guy's ass, but he isn't a worthy enough opponent. She's not even gonna have to like put in 100% likely. You know, the highlight is just gonna be the shocked look on their faces as they realize Killua, Biscuit, these kids are fucking killers and they're screwed. But we shall see. I don't even know, is 73 going to be the culmination? Is it going to be 74? I don't know. I don't even know what next episode's going to be. This was such a tame episode that I feel like we got to ramp up immediately. So maybe that's what 73 will be. We shall see. But this is when I'm going to end today's discussion. Just the two topics I really want to dive into. So if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button to let me know, and subscribe if you haven't already to stay in the loop here. Keep the conversation going down in the comments below. Answer as many non-spoilery questions as you can to help me understand. And if you're interested in early access and exclusive content, I just created a YouTube channel membership page and also Patreon if you like that too. Having said all that, and with that said, so long, until next time, thank you, have a good one, peace.